それぞれの悲しみがあって言えない涙がある In the rain
Symphonic Rain.
見えるものと見えぬもの静かに目を凝らして帰る場所はどこにある心はないこのままそれぞれの行く先があって心に秘密の場所誰も知らぬ朝降り注ぐ光は来るだろうか Even in theそれぞれに幸せがあるの心はそこへ向かうきっとこの胸に降り注ぐ光はあると思う In the
Is that it? It is! Wow! What an intro! Now, I have opened the game before. I mean, obviously. But this is the very first time I actually watched the intro. Wow, this was pretty cool, I gotta say. The game already started out on my good side. I gotta give it to the game, that was really awesome. So, hello and welcome everybody to Symphonic Rain, as you already heard. In the rain. Wow, the intro blew me so much away that I started to talk a lot of nonsense and started to ramble and stuff like that. So let's try to talk about something coherently now. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm playing this game for charity. A viewer of mine pays a certain amount of money each time I finish a route and stuff like that, and for playing the game and all. Don't get me wrong though, I wanted to play the game myself anyway. Watch the update video if you want to know details. I'll leave this charity in the description down below. It goes to children in Mongolia's capital city, Ulaanbaatar, who, you know, need a better education, etc, etc. Children in the outer districts of Mongolia's capital city basically are usually very poor, and that is why I think that is a very good cause. Now, Symphonic Rain, I don't know much about it. Basically, I once read the plot of it like a month ago, but I forgot most of it. Except for the fact that it is about a city where it rains all the time. And as we saw in the intro, the city looked kinda European, Italian-ish. So, yeah, and I know it's a romance. But that is basically all I know. And also music. But, you know, it's called Symphonic Rain. Like, do you see, like, the musical note here on the screen as the mouse? I guess that goes without saying. So let's start the game and see what it has in store for us. I'm actually kinda pumped. Because I already got comments that like, yeah, cool, Symphonic Rain, I always wanted...
そちらは今も雨が降っていますか?
I always wanted to see you play this. Ari always began her letters that way.
こっちは相変わらずのいい天気です。少しだけでもそっちに分けてあげたいくらいに。
Depends on the weather, to be honest. I'd take rain over heat every day.
そんな些細な天気のことでさえ、クリスと遠く離れていることを思い出さずにはいられないなんて。もう3年近くこんな生活が続いたんだって。この月が終わって、年が明けて。
Okay, you can see already. My clanet habits stay for Symphonic Rain. I tend to click too early.
あと2ヶ月もしたら、やっと戻ってこられるんだよね。そのことに気づいてから、少しだけ時間が経つのが遅くなった気がします。別れてすぐも辛かったけど、こういう時間もちょっと辛いかな。そしてその日が来るのが少し怖いくらい。
It depends on how long you were gone, actually.
そんなのおかしいかな。
Like, I have met friends before that I haven't met in years, and it was actually awkward. But, you know.
今年の終わりもいつもみたいに一緒に過ごせたらと思うけど、発表のこともあるからまだどうなるかわからないよね。それに私の方もまだちょっとわからないんだ。ナターレ前の手紙くらいで細かいことを報告するから、クリスもお願いします。そうそう、卒業するために発表しないといけない演奏のパートナーがまだ決まってないってトルタからの手紙に書いてあったよ。私にはよくわからないけど、すごく心配してるみたいだったから、早めに決めた方がいいんじゃないかな。
Lady, don't tell Chris what to do. He's a rebel. I already have the feeling he's a rebel.
もう1年はさすがに待てないよ。なんだか取り留めがなくなっちゃったね。
Oh yeah, I know that feeling.
続きは次の手紙で。アリエッタ。
Oh, that is actually a cool name. Is that a real Italian name, Arietta? I don't know, but it sounds sweet. Domenica. Hey! Oh, it's the date. Okay. So we already saw the childhood friend, huh? Now, that's actually kind of interesting. I mean, the childhood friend isn't like the most... How should I say it? The most innovative idea anime-related media ever had. But, you know, why not? I wonder, though, maybe she isn't like a childhood friend in that sense, but just a friend he hasn't seen in a long time. I don't know. But, you know, kinda gave the childhood friend vibe off. I looked away from the letter I had just finished reading, and played idly with the paper in my hands. It always took a while for the lingering feelings to dissipate. After sitting still for a moment, I finally brought myself to fold up the letter. I gently slipped it back into the elegant envelope, taking care to replace it in the same condition that it arrived. Then, I placed it in the drawer, where I stored all her letters, I assume. The letters from Ari were so succinct, whatever that means, that each one took up only one sheet of paper. Even so, the drawer was almost filled to the brim with them. They were almost a physical reminder of the time that had passed by. As the white letters accumulated in the drawer, she once said, "One day, when that drawer is filled to the brim with your letters, you will come back, won't you?" Ah, so you are the one gone, Chris, I assume. And... wait, what? Now I'm a bit confused. Who's gone and who's still there? Oh, I guess I will learn. So in order to keep my promise with her... Oh, that is him again. So in order to keep my promise with her, I continued to send her letters on a weekly basis. I closed the drawer quietly and leaned back against the chair. I glanced at the scenery beyond the window, then at the clock to confirm the time. 18:06, that's actually not right, but I'll let it pass. 6 o'clock, huh? Night was approaching rapidly. Even so, the scenery outside wouldn't change that much. The dull, overcast sky would only darken a bit more. The patter of rain on the window continued incessantly.
何が6時かよ。
Hello?
さっさと返事出して。アンサンブルしようよ。
Aha! I was already wondering. Like, I saw you on screenshots, etc. And I was already confused what is up with you. So, are you like my personal little fairy? Would actually be kinda useful. Forney hopped down from the windowsill to the desk, her subtle wings slicing through the air gracefully. Then, she stopped about 10 centimeters above the desk and hovered there. The wings extending from So how are we pronouncing this? Forney? I assume Forney, right? So, the wings extending from Forney's back fluttered rapidly, but it didn't look like they were what was keeping her afloat. Everything about her was a wonder. Yeah, I know. I have always read and replied to Ari's letters like this. I was never really pressed for time to write my reply. But since she had said, I'd like to read your reply as early as possible, I was just dutifully fulfilling her request. That was all there was to it. By the way, am I the only one having problems reading what the text says? Like, white letters in a rather bright room is like not the best choice. And I mean, this is a fan translation. I don't want to be like the asshole who complains about fan translations. I'm just saying, it's sometimes hard to read. Her letters, however, took some time to arrive. If I wrote my letter now and deposited it in the post tomorrow morning, it should arrive there after 2 days. By that logic, a full exchange would span 4 days, though there was little reason to rush. However, Ari worked at a flourishing bakery in the town we were born and raised. Okay, so she's the childhood friend and you are gone. Now I get it. It was so famous that people come afar just to sample its products. I'd heard that because she was still a trainee, she sometimes even had to forgo sleep to work. Wow. Ari could read my letter as soon as it arrived on Wednesday, but since Friday afternoon was her only time off, she'd have to wait until then to compose a reply. So, her letter would arrive on Sunday at noon. The post office was not open on Sundays, so I had a bit of leeway to write my reply. As she mentioned in her letter, this mail. Wait a minute, this mail what? Am I stupid? So her letter was, as she mentioned in her letter, this mail exchange cycle had persisted for almost 3 years. But am I the only one? I couldn't see like the part exchange cycle had persisted, etc. I couldn't see that right now. Was it into the blue or did I have to scroll down or something? Ah, anyway. Okay. After finishing the reply swiftly, I enclosed the letter in an envelope and sealed it. Afterward, I finally turned down toward Forney. Yeah. Lady, as far as I understood, there are very many love interests, so don't pin me down just yet. She gave a half-resigned sigh. Then, as if her mood had lightened up, she flapped her wings vigorously. I mean, she's doing that the whole time, but still. I took out the fortel from the case that I carried it to school in and set it up in a corner. Extending a hand to me, Forney made her usual request. I did as she asked and let her glide onto my palm. Then I transferred her onto the top of the fortel. Forney's wings didn't appear to be very useful. They didn't allow her to increase her altitude. As she demonstrated earlier, it seemed as if she couldn't move horizontally. Whoops, my bad. Ah, shit. However, when she descended, she could glide for quite the distance. Well, now... I dragged a chair before the fortel and started tuning. Just about everybody living in this apartment building attended the same school as me. Because we understood each other's need to practice, one could pray freely in the middle of the night without even worrying about disturbing one of the neighbors. Huh. Huh. Well, no, I don't buy it. Shall we begin? She repeated the same sound while her wings flickered rapidly. Then Forney glanced toward me. A light press by my hand resting on the fortel. At the same time, I concentrated my mind on the sound of the first note. Magic. A power that was necessary to play this instrument. Ah, okay. Interesting. I mean, if I had magic powers, to be totally honest, playing an instrument isn't the first thing that would come to mind to me. But I mean, in a world where magic is something normal, I'd guess there are also magical musicians. That makes sense. A power that in ancient times everyone was said to have to some degree. That power vanished in an instant and was replaced by an equally miraculous power which soon spread throughout the world. Electricity. The fortel was faint evidence that magic existed in the ages past. Okay, so only you have magic, or only she has magic, or how does that work? Yeah. I pictured the notes in my mind. And then, as I played, I pictured myself becoming one of the notes in each chord. You're really tiny. And you're also kinda cute. Existing within the music. Hey, wait, are we doing the opening again? So, I cut out the opening because we don't need to see the opening again. Although, I watched it again and it is still pretty cool. I mean, the opening doesn't have to be in a Let's Play like 2 times, I guess. When the last note faded away, a veil of silence fell across the room. For a moment, the two of us just remained still. So still that we seemed to be holding our breaths. But the moment was quickly shattered by the patter of rain. With her eyes still closed, Forney leaned back against the music stand and sighed absently. She too had become part of a song. When we first met, Forney introduced herself as a sprite of music. Cool. I've come to know better than anyone that that was no lie. But frankly, I don't remember that time very well. I was very busy when I first moved into this apartment. She showed up, explained she was a sprite of music who lived in this room, and that was pretty much that. Well, I guess we will learn more in the course of the Let's Play about her. Initially, I suspected that it was all just an illusion, but without a doubt, she was in fact real. However, after I had been persuaded into performing an ensemble with her when she noticed my fortel, all that ceased to matter. I'd been captivated by the beauty of her voice. Even now, that hadn't changed. If she's the singer in the opening, then yeah, she actually has a really nice voice. I wonder if actually the voice actor for this little fairy lady sang the opening song. That would be actually pretty cool. It was a pity that no one could see her or hear her. Despite how cliché it may sound, I would describe her voice as that of an angel. I couldn't think of a more fitting description for it. As if shaking off the final reverberations, Forney opened her eyes. Whoops, sorry, I skipped a sentence. No. There. Like her, I returned to reality from my reverie and lifted my hands from the keyboard. Goddammit. The controls are a bit different here than in Clannad. How about getting some sleep? It's that late already. Time flew whenever we continually practice like this. Yeah, shit, it's already like, wow, 10:30. That is actually pretty fast. It was probably because I concentrated so much on playing that I felt exhausted every time I snapped back into reality. And that was why I didn't rehearse with Forney every day. It was our agreement to do so only on Sundays. Once I'd reply to Ari's letter, Forney would exclaim, as she did earlier, "Let's perform our ensemble." Yes, I know. Even though she had a tiny frame and a childlike voice, Forney was always reminding me about the things I couldn't say it suited her appearance, but she looked kind of cute doing it, so I didn't mind her telling me what to do. This might also be because she reminded me of Ari's younger sister, my other childhood friend Tata. Ah, love interest number 2?
よろしい。じゃあ、おやすみ。
Man, my game really has problems every time someone changes position or something. My recording program starts to stutter and stuff like that. That is not good. I had long become accustomed to Forney's way of vanishing like that. Oh, she's just gone. Well, she doesn't need a sleeping place, question mark? Her existence certainly was a wonder. But deep down inside, I had probably always harbored a desire to accept her presence. Thanks to her, in all the time I'd been here, I'd never been affected by loneliness or the alienation of living in a land I felt I didn't belong to. Yeah, I mean, in Italy, where it rains all the time, it's not really Italy anymore, so I see your point. Good night. Lana D. Are these like Italian day names or month names or something? The soft sound of streaming water. The sound of rain flowing through a zinc gutter. The few rays of light that managed to pass through thin clouds made for poor illumination. I started to get up and turn on the light, but when I noticed the presence beside my pillow, I stopped in surprise.
おはよ
Good morning.
う。いつもだけど、子供みたいな寝顔ね。
Are there sleeping faces that don't?
そう。クリスの寝顔しか見たことないから。はい、いつものお願い。
Having apparently lost interest already, she gave me a satisfied look and flapped her wings a few times. I picked her up and brought her to her favorite spot in the front of the window. She sat down and started to swing her legs around playfully. What time is it now?
9時ちょっと。もう少しして起きなかったら、なんかいたずらでもしてあげようと思ったんだけど。
I reached for the alarm clock on my desk and cancelled the alarm. Perhaps I'd grown accustomed to Forney's rash ways of waking me, since nowadays I seem to be waking up naturally, even before my alarm went off. Oh yeah, I know that feeling. That's actually amazing how you get used to waking up at certain times. Like back in the day when I went to school, I was always up at 6:25. Always. It's amazing. Then again, since my sleeping hours were pretty regular, setting my alarm was just a precaution. Okay, I suppose I'll get changed.
あ、そうそう。手紙。
Ah, shit. I put it in my bag yesterday. Forney nodded approvingly and gazed at the rain outside, signaling the end of that conversation.
何？今日も雨？
As usual.
いい天気ね。
As usual. I quickly got changed and headed for the front door. I didn't usually eat breakfast, and Forney didn't eat at all. So all I had to do before I left was wash my face and change my clothes. As I opened the door, the first thing to reach my ears was the sound of rain spattering on the pavement. On the pavement. That would actually be drama. Imagine a road full of money and it's raining down. People would go crazy. Though it wasn't a loud sound by any means, it actually isn't. Like compared to the background music, it's actually super silent. It was a constant irritation to my ears, like earwax that couldn't be cleaned out. The City of Rain. It was hard not to be reminded of that name when you arrived here for the first time. There'd been a time when the town was actually called the City of Rain, and even the town's current name, Piova, originated from it. However, nowadays this town was known as the City of Music. The residents of the town all acknowledged this, and seemed to take pride in it. I stepped underneath the eaves of a store along the street. These eaves were created long ago to provide people shelter from the rain. I shook my head lightly and brushed the droplets off my clothes. I could do that casually, which was a sign of just how accustomed I had become to living in this town. Perhaps the residents too had become a little too used to the rain falling year-round, since no one usually carried an umbrella. Man, I'd be sick constantly. It would be a week before I could hold Ari's next letter. What the hell was that? I tell you, somehow my game is freaking out. My recording is freaking out on me the whole time. In my mind, I unconsciously pictured the way that I would spend the week, waiting for her letter. This time that I had grown all too accustomed to. This town that I had grown all too accustomed to. This was just like any other week, but I just couldn't shake off this lingering, uneasy feeling. Like this town wasn't really my place to be. A strange feeling. I sometimes got the silly thought that if I didn't have Farney, Torta, and the letters from Ari, time itself might just stop moving. Dude, I know those of you who know me and the channel and my Let's Plays a bit better know this already. But I used to live in Berlin. And let me tell you, the exact same feeling. Like if there ever was a place in my life where I feel like I didn't belong, it was Berlin. It's crazy. Only with less rain. Suddenly, a stranger's voice brought me back from my reverie. I turned around. Oh right, excuse me. After giving me a light bow, the man inserted his letter into the mailbox and left. How long had I been lost in thought? Torta and Farney often told me this, but it appeared I really did have a bad habit of suddenly slipping into deep thought. You're the protagonist, you can do that. Have you ever watched Scrubs? It would be bad if I caught a cold because I let myself get drenched. I decided to stop thinking about it and began walking leisurely in the direction of the school. I finally arrived at the campus. It was a little past 10. Since I still had 20 minutes before my private lesson would begin, I took my time strolling toward the main building. Students whose classes start at this time are rare, but they do exist. You wouldn't see any freshmen or juniors, since their classes begin early in the morning, but most of the senior year course load is private lessons, which generally begin... God damn it, what is it with like the text? Do I not get something? Like how does this work, that I can see the complete text? There was the option to have the private lessons in the morning, but since most students preferred doing it in the afternoon, it wasn't very crowded at this time of the day. Oh no, this is okay, this is the newest sentence, but the one before. But most of the senior year course load is private lessons, which generally begin later in the day. So here it is cut off as well. How do I see the rest? I have to click, but wait, how did I do that? I always like shit, now I'm skipping all over the place. Okay, anyway, I guess I'll figure this out at some point. If there was the option, yeah, okay, I read that. If I chose to have my lesson during second period, which starts at 10:30, getting up in the morning wouldn't be all that painful. Combined with the fact that I didn't really like crowds, I chose to have my lessons during second period. On foot, it took several minutes to cross the hallway lined with lecture halls and arrive at the private classrooms. As expected from a prominent musical institute competing on a national level, it was quite big. I wonder, who is this at the end of the hallway? Maybe like a real-life musician? But I don't recognize him. I headed for my designated classroom while inhaling the fresh and slightly damp morning air. Since language classes, harmonic classes, and, for freshmen, general education classes were all taught here, there were many people present in this area. However, it was silent here because all the rooms were soundproof. But then, in the afternoon, you could still hear the rustle of people in spite of that. But I liked the atmosphere here in the morning. The compressed air in the hallway muffled the sound of the rain, but I could still feel it in my bones. Excuse my interruption. Shitsureshimasu. Weeaboo powers. I had arrived over 50 minutes before the appointed time of 10:30, so Miss Condell wasn't here yet. She generally arrived here 10 minutes early, but today I happened to be even earlier. Well, now. I pulled out a chair and took my fortel out of its case. There was another fortel in the room, but my own instrument still felt like the best one for me. Concentrating on my fingers, I played a few notes. Well, when he's playing music, that is always super loud compared to the background music. It's kinda weird. I'm like always a bit freaked out. After playing like this for a few minutes, I heard the door open behind me.
Ohayo.
Good morning, madam. I turned around and returned her greeting.
構わない。続けろ。
Actually, I'm done now.
そうか。ならいい。まだ時間は少し早いな。
Miss Cordell glanced at the clock. Then she turned toward me for confirmation. Well, yes.
少し話がある。見当はついているな。
About my partner, right?
ああ。当てがないわけじゃないだろう。
Well, sure, but...
合わせる時間も必要だから、もうそんなに時間はない。
It's still a few months away.
2ヶ月しかないんだ。数ヶ月とは普通言わない。
Ah, so that's how long I have left.
そういうことに疎いのは知ってたが、それほどとはな。
Since you know how out of touch I am, how about avoiding that topic?
これも仕事だからな。それで、探してはいるのか？
Well, yeah.
嘘だな。
It was just like Miss Cordell to make such an instant declaration. Why do you think that?
君のことは多少なりとも分かってるつもりだ。
Then why are you asking?
なんだ、図星か。
She gave a weak smile as her hand combed through her hair. I liked those gestures that Miss Cordell made every now and then. When it came to music, she was very strict and showed no mercy to her students, but that wasn't the only side to her. Although it seemed most students couldn't see past her image of being a strict lecturer. In fact, I used to be like that as well, until I started taking these private lessons. Yeah, bullseye.
まあ、君の音に合わせられるものもあまりいないか。妥協も良くない。
Well, like I have a little fairy, if you can make her appear on stage. Yeah, that's part of the reason. I kept pretending with a weak smile. Sometimes I felt that she was overestimating my abilities. Among all the lecturers in the school, Miss Cordell, in particular, held my skills in high regard. But I personally didn't really feel that way. The fortel was an instrument that required magic, and the player had considerable control over its timbre. It was not like a piano or cembalo, where you could produce single notes by just pressing one of its keys. Of course, it made different sounds by pressing it harder, or by the way you used the pedals, but this was not how a fortel differed between individual players. You could say the variance of the sound itself was relatively similar to a wind instrument. However, it appeared to be most similar to a human voice. And as it turned out, Miss Cordell thought very highly of the sound I produced. It had a lot to do with how the sound was perceived by others. The performer had no way to tell by himself. It was like being told that something you found normal was actually something very unique.
クリス、聞いていなかったな。
Well, no.
素直でよろしい。ただ、授業中に私の話を聞かないのは減点だ。
Sorry.
まあいい。それは後にして、レッスンを始めるとしよう。
Understood. I took the score out of my bag and placed it on the music stand. Miss Cordell scanned the score over my shoulder.
曲はいつものでいいのか？
Yes, I know the piece depends on my partner, but this is the only one I have right now.
まあいい。とりあえず初めから通しで。
Okay. I assume that is music minigame. Yeah, all good and stuff, but what am I supposed to do? Oh, there are letters and my keyboard isn't ready, you ass! C, fuck me. C and I and, oh, it's only C and I, okay, I can do that. Ha! Ha ha ha! Ooh. Hi! Yes! Shit! Missed! Now I hit. Boom! Aye, yeah. Look at me being Mozart. Oh shit. No more keys! I can't even... Close. Oh, L. Where the fuck is J? Fucking dickbag. Oh, come on! Oh no, oh no, oh no. Wait, I don't know where D is. Shit. Yeah, ooh, like I'm getting good now. Shit. Come on, don't be like that. Don't be like that. Oh god, I hope nothing depends on these. Oh shit. Oh shit, it's K again. No wait, that's L. Shit. J. No. Oh, close. Shit, no. Oh man. Oh man. It sounds better when I just press random stuff. Can we like do this, like that? I press buttons and the thing plays, it sounds. Oh my god, yeah, continue, please. Yes. I already clicked yes. What do you want from me? Game over? Yeah, I can live with that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I hope nothing depends on this. Like if I have to do something like this for a good or bad ending or something, I am so much screwed. I am so much screwed. And I need to find someone who like tells me which buttons to push, because I can't find buttons blindly on the keyboard. Okay, after this performance I feel like I have to end the episode like in defeat. So, man, but so far this seems interesting, although I'm obviously not the master at the music minigame. But so the plot revolves around finding a partner for the final music performance or something. I mean, we already kind of saw that in the intro of the game, where he stood on the stage with the piano in the background and stuff like that. So you could assume it is something like that he has to perform. But that is the final goal, and I guess the partner he chooses is also the partner for his life or something. Because as mentioned, as far as I understood, this is a romance novel. Maybe it isn't, and I'm wrong, I don't know. Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see what this game has to offer. So, I thank you very much for watching. Come back for the next episode, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.